I joined my first 7 days long game jam and had no idea if I could actually finish something. I did, and it taught me more than 6 months of development ever could. The theme came out to be Strange Places. The first thing that came to mind was The Little Prince, a novella by this author I won't even try to pronounce. It takes place on tiny planets, and the one I decided to build a game on was the Lamplighter's planet. This man is destined to turn on his lamp every time it goes out. Forever. And that became the concept for the game. Originally I wanted to make 3 planets, but I had to cut scope. And you'll understand why this decision mattered in a second. Because before I even opened Godot, I made a game design document. This one thing changed the course of the entire jam, so remember it because it comes back later. A GDD is a document where you set the foundation before writing a single line of code. You decide the core gameplay, the story, and the assets. It's even more important when you're talking about a game jam. I've tried finishing projects without one before, but it never worked. However, this is a story for another day. I also came in with a project template I had prepared beforehand, with input mappings, display and render settings, and last but not least a file structure already organized. And I also reused systems directly from Grand Theft Auto, because on a strict time limit it was just needed. And when the jam started, I already knew what day 1 would look like. The first thing I did was building the core element of the game, the light going off and on, and everything else depended on that working first. For the level design I used a mobile app called DB's Paint and used colors to mark different parts of the layout. When I got home, I immediately went on Godot and blocked out the levels with simple colored blocks, easy to change later on. Then it was time for the art. I started with the player character and its animations, which took me a while to get right. Then I moved on to the furniture, which I'm faster at making. But what I'm really proud of this phase is the parallax background. I added it to give the scene depth, and the vignette effect, a shadow that slowly closes in around the player. It's a small thing, but it completely changes how the tension feels. And then on what was basically day 6 came the part I'm most proud of. I added lights and shadows to the whole game, a glowing light on the exit portal to signal the way out, and the intro cutscene with animated text. That cutscene is what made it feel like a real game and not just a game jam project. These elements gave it an identity, and people really liked it. The last day was the most frenetic. In fact, the closer I got to the deadline, the more bugs I found. But I managed to fix them fast and got back to finishing the remaining sprites, like this strange jar of jam that I genuinely loved making. And then the music. Even though I always prefer to do things myself, I sourced the soundtracks for the main game loop, the intro and the outro. I didn't make them, but honestly they fit so well that I didn't even feel bad about it. They elevated everything, and then I submitted, with 13 hours to spare. For the first time I didn't have to rush everything. And this is where the document comes back, because planning the levels out, deciding the position of every element before building, made the development faster and better. I couldn't do that in Grand Theft Auto. I hadn't planned anything, not the GDD, not the levels, nothing. And honestly, let me give you an advice. Using AI as a way to keep scope in check helped me a lot too. I have it set to not just agree with me, so when I say something that's clearly out of scope, it pushes back. I know AI is controversial, but it's important to learn to use it as a tool and not as your thinking core. And just like that, the jam was over. A few months ago, I genuinely didn't think I could finish something like this. What helped me the most was having a community around me and a plan before day 1. That's what made the difference. I ranked 264 overall. Not a win, but for a first jam with a plan, well, I'll take it. I played a lot of games during the rating period and they were all wonderful. I had a really fun time playing them. So, have you ever done a jam? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.